Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Page Bait. That is the show where I read the most popular books that I know absolutely nothing about and give you my live commentary. Today, we're going to be looking at the first 3 pages of one of the most popular books of 2025. I selected this book through a highly scientific process called Googling the Goodreads top most read books of 2025. And that is how I found out that the number one most read book in fantasy is called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I've never read this book. I know absolutely nothing about this book. I don't know what age level it's for. I don't even know the plot. But I'm going to read the first 3 pages and tell you exactly what I think about it, knowing nothing about it. And hopefully this will be useful to you, but probably not. Let's dive in before I change my mind. Here it is in all its glory on Amazon. Let's read a sample. All right. It's got a cool cover. I feel like a lot of fantasy books, their covers kind of all look the same. This one's kind of different. I like it. Skip past all this boring stuff. Wait, is this the wait a minute. Where's chapter one? Oh, here we go. We gotta go past all this copyright stuff. Okay, this looks right. It doesn't say chapter one. It's one of those ones that just gives you titles and lets you hope for the best. The man at the door. 27 hours before she decided to die. Rude of her. Nora Seed sat on her dilapidated sofa, scrolling through other people's happy lives, waiting for something to happen. And then, out of nowhere, something actually did. Wow, I can see why people read this a lot. This is actually a great opening. Someone, for whatever peculiar reason, rang her doorbell. So she is lonely and sad on social media. She wondered for a moment if she shouldn't get the door at all. She was, after all, already in her nightclothes, even though it was only 9 p.m. She felt self-conscious about her oversized eco-warrior t-shirt and her tartan pajama bottoms. She put on her slippers to be slightly more civilized and discovered that the person at the door was a man, and one she recognized. Doo doo doo. He was tall and gangly and boyish, with a kind face. Okay, most people in these modern fantasies, are kind of grisly and okay. I mean, that doesn't mean he's not trouble. He probably is trouble, otherwise this story is not going to happen, but we'll see. But his eyes were sharp and bright, like they could see through things. It was good to see him, if a little surprising, especially as he was wearing sports gear and he looked hot and sweaty despite the cold, rainy weather. The juxtaposition between them made her feel even more slovenly than she had done 5 seconds earlier. But she'd been feeling lonely. No crap. And though she'd studied enough existential philosophy to feel loneliness was a fundamental part of being a human in an essentially meaningless universe, it was good to see him. Ash. Is it Pokemon Ash? She said, smiling. It's Ash, isn't it? It could be Evil Dead Ash. Does he have a chainsaw? Yes, it is. What are you doing here? It's good to see you. A few weeks ago, she'd been sat playing her electric piano, and he'd run down Bancroft Avenue and had seen her in the window. Here at 33A and given her a little wave. He had once, years ago, asked her out for a coffee. Aw. Ex-lovers, maybe? Maybe he was about to do that again. No, do it. She's so sad. She's like on her social media. Ask her out, Ash. It's good to see you too, he said, but his tense forehead didn't show it. So it's good to see you too. When she'd spoken to him in the shop, he'd always sounded breezy, but now his voice contained something heavy. He scratched his brow, made another sound, but didn't quite manage a full word. You running? A pointless question. He was clearly out for a run, but he seemed relieved momentarily to have something trivial to say. Yeah, I'm doing the Bedford half. It's this Sunday. Oh, right, great. I was thinking of doing a half marathon, and then I remembered I hate running. This sound had sounded funnier in her head than it did as actual words being vocalized out of her mouth. She didn't even hate running, but still, she was perturbed to see the seriousness of his expression. The silence went beyond awkward into something else. You told me you had a cat, he said eventually. He is great at starting conversations. Yes, I have a cat. I remembered his name, Voltaire, a ginger tabby. Yeah, I call him Volts. He finds Voltaire a bit pretentious. It turns out he's not massively into 18th century French philosophy and literature. Yeah, me neither, really. He's quite down to earth, you know, for a cat. Ash looked down at her slippers. I'm afraid I think he's dead. What? He's lying very still by the side of the road. I saw the name on the collar. I think a car might have hit him. I'm sorry, Nora. Wow, this book is too sad. I You know what? She could just be dead, and I this book is way too sad. Don't read it. This book is too sad. You don't kill cats and dogs. You can kill anybody else, but that's just mean. That's just mean. Whatever this author's name is, Matt Haig. That's mean. Stop that. She was so scared of her sudden switch in emotions right then that she kept smiling, as if the smile could keep her in the world she had just been in, the one where Volts was alive and where his man she'd sold guitar songbooks to had rung her doorbell for another reason. Ash, she remembered, was a surgeon, not a veterinary one, a general human one. If he said something was dead, it was, in all probability, dead. I'm so sorry. Nora had a familiar sense of grief. Only the sertraline stopped her crying. Oh, God! She stepped out into the wet, cracked paving slabs of Bancroft Avenue, hardly breathing, and saw the poor ginger-furred creature lying in the rain-glossed tarmac beside the curb. His head grazed the side of the pavement, and his legs were back, as if mid-gallop, chasing some imaginary bird. Oh, Volts! Oh, no! Oh, God! This is so sad. This book is too sad. This is even, like, sadder and more grisly than that Fourth Wing was. I don't like this. She knew she should be experiencing pity and despair for her feline friend, and she was, but she had to acknowledge something else. As she stared at Voltaire's still and peaceful expression, that total absence of pain, there was an inescapable feeling brewing in the darkness. Envy. Wow. Wow. This is supposed to be fantasy, right? This is supposed to be fantasy. There's no, it's just a sad, depressed lady whose cat died. Where's the fantasy part? I have to say, I really enjoy the writing style quite a bit. Like, the writing style is great in this. I was started reading it and I was like, I think I'm gonna want to actually read the whole of this thing. But then it got just like super sad and depressing, and now I'm like, no, no. Matt Haig, you killed a cat, a ginger cat. I have a ginger cat on the couch right behind me, right there. That's my ginger cat. So this feels personal, Matt Haig. I have a bone to pick with you. You know what? You know what? No, no. Th- No, we're done here. We're done here with this book. I'm done, done forever. This is too sad. This is too sad. It's so sad. I made a huge mistake with this book. Next time, next time, I'm gonna just pick up a different one. But on the cover though, there's like a cat jumping through a window, and wait a minute, I'm gonna share this again so you can look at the cover of this. Because maybe I do need to finish reading this because you know something? Maybe there's more to it. We've got like a cat jumping through like an airplane window over here. We've got an airplane going through an airplane window. We've got a whale and a chess piece and a car. Maybe I will finish this, even though it's super sad. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll actually like read the description and that will help. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got for today. That is quite enough. Quite enough of that. No, stop that. I can't technology today. There we go. Stop share. That's enough of that. That's enough of that book. Anyway, I'm done. If you want me to comment on any particular book, just go ahead and comment the title below. But make sure it's not a sad one where a cat or a dog literally dies in the first chapter, or I will hunt you down. And if you found this useful, I am shocked, but you should still like and subscribe to somebody else's channel because this one absolutely sucks. I will see you next week, hopefully with something happier and less depressing than The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Goodbye.